Greetings to everyone watching live and everyone watching after the fact. Shout out to the faithful and salute to the patrons. This is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, here surprisingly on a weekday evening, y'all. Here on a weekday evening to bring you all the monthly live Q&A right here on OAW Entertainment. We are broadcasting simultaneously both on the, three OAW YouTube channel, OAW Facebook page, and OAW Twitch channel. How is everybody doing tonight? So, as the title suggests, we do have a lead-in topic tonight that I will be going ahead and chopping up for you all. Just sharing my thoughts, because I realized when I was setting up the stream for last night, I had not yet had a chance to really dive into this. So we do got a lead-in topic. We're going to be talking about the recent developments going on over at Warner Brothers Discovery, which, as you all know, is the studio responsible for all of our DC comics related live action adaptation and animated projects and whatnot. So I'm gonna be talking about some of the shakeups going on over there, and I'll also be taking all of your questions and comments for about the next hour or so. We'll get it through as many of those as we possibly can within that time limit. But if you absolutely positively want to make sure that your question or comment gets read live right here on the air, you can always drop a super chat and we'll be sure to address it before the end of tonight's broadcast. If you want to support the channel but can't do so monetarily, that is fine too. But you know what helps tremendously? If you hit that like button and if you share this stream, that it feeds the algorithm and it helps the video, it helps the stream get more exposure, get more traffic, which then in turns helps the numbers on the channel on the back end. And y'all don't want to hear all the minutia about how the platform works. But like I said, you can always drop a super chat. Greatly helps the channel. If not, share this stream. And you can also support the channel via Cash App. The link is in that description box below. So, of course, this being the live monthly Q&A, of course, we might have some patrons. All of my patrons at the $10 tier or higher, you all check your inboxes on Patreon for the link to join in tonight. I also got some of my fellow YouTube collaborators. I shot the link out to them. We might be seeing some of them tonight, but we do got one already in the back, and that is none other than my man Irvin, holding it down, coming through from Shining Otaku Comics. Tell the people what's up, E-Money.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Dude, it has been a while since you've been on the channel, man. I tell you what. Everybody watching right now, start getting those questions in the comments right now. Start loading them up so that once we get done with this discussion, we can start hitting them. But before we jump into that, yo, E, what's been happening, baby? Update the people on what's been going on with you.
Oh man, I've been working on comics, obviously, working on manga. We've been doing we're working on a hip hop comic right now called Killbox. And then, basically a battle rap manga. We also have an anthology project coming out soon too, as well. I'm assuming I'm projecting that it may come out either by the end of this year or maybe early next year, but that's kind of what's going on with that. And then to top it all off, we've been doing Shining Spotlights. So that's pretty much what I've been doing the past. I'm trying to think when the last time I've been on here. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. And for those of you all who don't know, y'all can check the Shining Spotlight. I believe is it still on Sunday nights?
Yes, it's on Sunday nights. Every other Sunday. We're in the middle of a season right now. We actually have Ike Axner, who did the book Comics and the Origins of Manga. We're going to be interviewing him this Sunday. So you definitely want to check that out. You can check it out on the Shining Otaku channel, in case anybody wanted to know. So
remind me to link it in the, you know what? I'm gonna do it right now because
we're also on Spotify too. Let me say that too. So obviously we're not live on Spotify when we do it, but we do have the episodes on Spotify as well.
Dude, how is Spotify platform wise as a content creator? Because I've actually been debating right now. I'm still flirting with the idea, but there has been a debate going on up here between Anchor and Spotify.
It's funny. We just recently started using Spotify, so I'm not as familiar on it as I should be, but I know that they recently added a video feature on Spotify. Because when I first started using it, it was just, like how
Audio.
everybody's doing podcasts now, right? So,
Yeah.
just audio. But then, they just recently added that, like, I think a month or two ago, where you can put videos up on there now. So you can literally, like, put up pretty much like everything on the OAW channel. You could put that up on Spotify if you wanted to. And it will still play like, like audio. Let's say you're in the car listening to it. You'll still hear it like audio. But if you're looking at your phone, you can actually see the video too. So
right, which I'm gonna be honest with. I assume that's how most of my viewers actually watch my video. I don't actually think they watch it. I'm pretty sure they just listen to it like a podcast. Which, I mean, it works because I've always done long form videos, so it works. And one of such people is our first patron coming through in the evening. My man Dejon Patterson Powers holding it down up in the 313.
What's
I
up?
was about to go into the straight full ball. Put your hands up and follow me. Everybody put the 313.
What's up, Irvin?
what's up? How you feeling?
I don't know if you remember it, but you met me at YumaCon.
Man, I'm better
I
with
was
faces.
the one who asked you the Naruto question. I met you with your two guys, your friends.
You talking about the Elite Ace, and then
because I remember you. I asked you about the Naruto versus Ichigo death battle, and you put Naruto, and it was a long time ago because I didn't go last year.
I didn't go last year either. I'm trying to remember, but you know what? I bet you and I feel really bad if I saw your face, I'm pretty sure I would know. But like, but I do. It does sound vaguely familiar though. It does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, but ALW got the perfect subject for me.
This main one? Oh, dude, we gonna get into it. We about to get into it right now. Before we get into it, though, I do want to go ahead and shout out all of the faithful. I see them filing in now, but I want to shout out my man Adam Q. Is always the first one here because the hood, like Adam Q says, the hood be here, right? He be holding it down. My man Eric Gardner is in the building. Travis Tippins is in the building. Jay the Lightseeker is in the building. Yusuke Knight is in the building. What's happening? And more of them all filing in. So, like I said, guys. We only gonna be on for about maybe an hour tonight. I know I screwed up. My computer decided to go haywire on me and start glitching like literally 5 minutes before I was supposed to go live. So I had to reboot, but it's working. We back up now. And we did lose some minutes now. Like I said, we gonna go hard and paint for about an hour. And we'll after we break through, get through with this discussion, we're gonna go through all y'all questions and comments, get through as many of those as we can. But like I said before, if you want to make sure we got to get to it, because we shut the shit down. Damn it, just like that, we demonetized. See what I mean? We shut it down. One of them super chats come through, we gotta answer it. So just pointing it out there.
You got a super chat goal?
Say who?
You got a super chat goal?
Dude, okay. I had an idea. But I didn't think enough people would be interested.
What's your idea?
House of the Dragon watch party.
For the third episode?
For the third episode.
Yep. What are you trying to? What's the amount goal?
See, that's the other thing too. I'm not sure. I don't think enough. I didn't think enough people would be interested. I also had, because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. But I also was thinking of another goal where we would, because you know what's coming next Friday, right?
What's coming next Friday?
You don't know what's coming next Friday?
I don't know what's coming.
Irvin, you don't know what's coming next Friday?
I don't.
Somebody in the comments, please tell these gentlemen what's dropping next Friday. I give you a hint.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, no, I'm hyped about that. Okay, you know what? It snuck up on me. It really did, because didn't we just have a season like a few months ago?
In January.
Yeah, so I'm actually, I don't know. I'm actually surprised if they're putting out another one this quick. I thought it would have been like another year.
It was supposed to be, I forget what it was, but essentially, they like a few, actually a good little bit. It was like 5 or 6, maybe even more. They canceled a bunch of shows. So because they canceled them, they put some of the ones they had slated got pushed back, and some of them got pushed up. And Cobra Kai was one of the ones that got pushed up. Essentially, I forget what the other show is, but essentially Cobra Kai like swapped spots with another show, because since those other ones got canceled, they needed to delay. I forget what the other show was, but they need to delay that one because it wasn't ready. So in order to give it more time to completion, they moved Cobra Kai up, because Cobra Kai was pretty much done already.
You know, I always when I watch Cobra Kai, like it's a show, like every season, I get scared. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't get scared of like what happens. I get scared that I'm like, oh my goodness, are you guys gonna mess this up one day? Because they've been doing so good.
You think, yeah, you be feeling that and do, but I'm gonna tell you this. And I was quasi sort of there too with the latter half of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, when they brought your boy Silver back for season 4, he just, oh my god, he made that season, bro. He did, man. I do got some concerns with season 5. I'm not gonna lie, but there is some stuff I'm really excited for season 5. Because, dude, I'm pretty sure I didn't spoil this on camera. I'm pretty sure because I've been teasing it. I got insider knowledge that there's a particular character that people have been speculating whether or not it's going to show up, or if they will, or when they will. I know for certain they're in season 5.
Could I take a gander? Sean Kanan from Mike Burns from Karate Kid 3.
At this juncture, I cannot
Confirm
or deny. But it is a character that has been rumored since season 3.
So basically, he's there. You know,
it's a character that's been rumored since season 3, and I have confirmation he is in season 5.
So basically, he's there. You know, that's what I'm gonna take it as.
So, but anyway, so yeah, the other one I had for Super Track Gold was Cobra Kai season 5 watch party. So this is what I was thinking, because of course, I'm gonna watch it on my own, because I like taking my time with it, which means I'm pretty much going to binge it within the first weekend and then have a review out for y'all like the next week. But dude, I was actually like, dude, what if we did like a marathon watch party, like on a Saturday or something, where it's like a free day where a lot of people, and we just marathon the whole, just binge that shit. That was my other idea.
Cobra Kai would, I'm like, that would be nice to do that with Cobra Kai, for sure. I've never been big into Game of Thrones, so I'm like, I can't really speak on it for either one, but like, but for Cobra Kai, oh my gosh, like that's one of those type of shows where you can't really, like, I'm glad it's a Netflix show and it's not a Disney Plus show, because oh my gosh,
yeah. So I tell you what, let me know if any of those would interest y'all. So if House of the Dragon watch party interests you, put a 1 in the chat. If Cobra Kai watch party interests you, put a 2 in the chat, and let's see what we get. I'm not saying I'm gonna make it an official super chat goal. It's just these were just ideas. We were just spitballing. But speaking of ideas, let's go ahead and let's jump into this topic, because my man David Zaslav over at Warner Brothers Discovery got a lot of ideas, and he came in hot. So for those of you all who haven't heard, maybe you don't keep up with the entertainment news, or with the internet shit posting, if you was, or anything like that. But okay, so this is what's been happening pretty much this entire month, because I found out that Batgirl article August 2nd. So that sucker came out right after I did the last Q&A. So I haven't had a chance to talk about this on camera yet. Essentially, this is what happened. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take y'all back. So last spring, I believe it was either or summer. I think it was like May. I want to say it was May. Last summer, though, it was announced that AT&T was initially unloading Warner Media. They were unloading it, and it's more of a merger than it's not a buyout, because I think AT&T still has majority stake in Warner Brothers Discovery, but they're very much like the silent investor type thing. It's just part of their corporate portfolio. They actually have, like, they had relinquished all executive control over the company. And essentially, it ended up merging with Discovery. So now the new entity the new entity, which is Warner Brothers Discovery. That's what they're calling it. Kind of wish they would have came up with a better name, but I actually like WBD. I actually like WBD. That sounds kind of cool. So anywho, so they went ahead, they did that merger, and David Zaslav, I believe he's the CEO. He was appointed as the CEO, and he is the exec responsible for making Discovery and its entire platform. A lot of people don't realize how big Discovery is. Discovery is freaking huge. Okay. Actually, let me see. Discovery. Let me see all the channels that are under Discovery. So you're talking about Discovery, the Learning Channel, Animal Planet, Food Network, HGTV, ID, which is Investigation Discovery, A&E, History Channel, Lifetime, the Oprah Winfrey Network, the Travel Channel, the Science Channel. All of those are under Discovery. Pretty
Sort
big
of
platform.
funny because those are learning educational channels, more like.
Most of them are. Most of them are. And a lot of them, especially when you look at the ones like TLC and when you look at like TLC, HGTV, stuff like that, a lot of them have become more of reality TV, right? It's major to reflect like real life or what have you, right? So anywho, so yes, Discovery, major platform, right? Major platform, and Discovery Plus is actually been one of the dark horses in the streaming wars, because it's compared to its competition, it's relatively small. Ergo, I say small like this because the amount of content that's on Discovery Plus is fucking massive, right? It's massive. And to say that their subscription fee is, I think it's only like what, $7. They were one of the ones out the gate. Surprisingly, the two biggest dark horses of the streaming wars, Discovery Plus and Peacock. Those are the two nobody ever have pegged. If you actually look at their financial earnings, they have actually been outperforming Disney Plus and HBO Max and Netflix and Hulu and all that jazz. So anywho, so yes, Discovery has become a major player in recent years. That is directly because of David Zaslav. He's the one that turned that into what it is today. And he's the guy they appointed ahead of Warner Brothers Discovery. So since last year, Zaslav's been in the building, but he hasn't really done anything yet, right? Like, he's getting the lay of the land, doing his homework, getting the figures together, all that jazz. Finally, the figures come up, right? Because we had numerous things happen this month. One of them is the financial earnings meeting, the earnings call that they finally did for Warner Brothers Discovery. And this was pretty much like the first time Zaslav actually got on the mic and spoke about what his goals were and what his vision, his plan for Warner Brothers Discovery moving forward is actually supposed to, what is it he wants, what he's hoping to achieve. This is what we found out. Warner Brothers is broke. They broke beyond broke. They so broke when they walk past the bank, they set off the damn alarm. They so broke when they walk up to the ATM, that sucker goes into sleep mode.
So they're in panic mode.
they are broke beyond broke. So Zaslav went DEFCON 6 with this. He's like, okay, we got to start making cuts. We got to start we got to cut losses, start recouping some of the money we've lost. His main initial financial goal is to free up $3 billion in assets, $3 billion in assets and costs in order to put back into Warner Brothers coffers. So he started putting down the axe. And a lot of productions, a lot of films, a lot of television shows, a lot of projects that were in development, a lot of things got canceled. The biggest one and the most prolific one, and the one I found the most hilarious, was the upcoming Batgirl film for HBO Max. Principal photography had already concluded on the show. I mean, on the movie. So they were done shooting it. It was in post-production. And at the time, I think that was a $90 million budget at that time. That now, because they've axed it, I think the report said they can recoup $25 million. They can write it off as a loss. They can write it off for tax credit, right? So they spent 90 on it, but by canceling it, they're going to be able to recoup 25, right? Now you might think, well, Larry, that doesn't make any sense, because had they released the film, they probably would have made even more money. Nah, this wasn't a theatrically released film. This was going to be on HBO Max, and being on HBO Max, you're talking about it's now going to have to share a platform with all of these other productions. They have to be able to recoup a certain amount of money from that particular specific production. It was a point of contention. Zaslav made sure. He said a project that expensive should have never been an HBO Max exclusive in the first place. That should have gone to theaters. It should have. Because that's how we're able to actually get our money back off of it. But guess what? According to the reports, it was unwatchable. It was so bad. Zaslav was like, we can't even flip this into a theatrical release. And remember, this was the movie that supposedly was going to co-star, he was going to be the male lead of the movie. Michael Keaton returning as the 89 Batman. Axed. This was also the film that grossly and unceremoniously was going to be the bastardized adaptation of my favorite Batman. When I tell y'all I was tap dancing on this film's grave, that's an understatement. I did the moonwalk. I did the bus stop, the electric slide, the cha-cha slide, the Cupid shuffle. I did it all. The bunny hop. I even did the bunny. I don't never do the bunny hop. But when I found out that Batgirl wasn't happening, I got happy. And it was just the first of many to follow. They've been slashing projects left and right, as I've said. They've been cleaning up and streamlining HBO Max platform. A lot of particularly with the animated productions, a lot of them have gone from HBO Max. And so now we're going to get into the title, because all of this is leading up to this, right? Zaslav made it clear that DC and its intellectual properties are so popular and so marketable. DC Films is supposed to be the Marvel Studios equivalent. What Marvel Studios is to Disney is what DC Films should be to Warner's. That studio should be making so much money that it can pay for all the other productions that come out under the Warner Brothers umbrella.
A trickle-down effect, basically.
Trickle-down effect, exactly. Essentially, now here's the funny thing about it. Zaslav's, I see the analogy he was making, but that doesn't actually apply to Marvel Studios. What the correct analogy for what Zaslav was trying to explain is in regards to the Disney parks. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, Disney actually makes no money off of their films.
I heard about that.
Well, I can imagine on paper, yeah, probably.
It comes from Disney, the lion's share of Disney's revenue, and particularly their profit, because that's the big part, the profit. Mm-hmm. So let me put it like that. Let's say profit, not just revenue, but profit. The vast majority of their profit comes from the theme parks and the television licenses. Outside of the Disney theme parks, you know what the second biggest earner for Disney is?
I'm going to assume
merchandise, toys.
Yeah, definitely toys. I'm going with toys.
Both of y'all know merchandise, toys. It's essentially the same thing, right? Merchandise?
I was like clothing and stuff like that. That's merchandise. It's not outside the park. What's outside the parks? It ain't the films. Oh,
You
yeah.
said ESPN. Interesting. Okay. I guess that's why maybe with Disney Plus they advertise ESPN with it whenever they sell it. Or at least
yeah, but it's not. But here's the thing: it's not ESPN Plus. It's not ESPN Plus.
Just
like
ESPN.
I said, it's the sports licenses. So, like, you notice how every year doesn't ESPN handle one of the NBA playoff series because they switch with TNT every year. It's the Eastern Conference on one of them, and then the Western Conference on the other, and then the next year they switch and they go back and forth every year, right? Why do you think they have the exclusive? They're the only ones who show the NBA Finals. You know how much money they make off of that?
Oh, shit, they on ABC too. The NBA Finals on ABC.
Yep.
So shit.
Yep, and that's part of that because it's through ESPN. It all comes through ESPN. Mm-hmm. And remember, now they got the UFC. They just added Formula One racing. Dude, they just added NHL. They got hockey this past year. They got the hockey license from NBC. So yes. So essentially, this is where I'm going with it. What the parks, with the Disney parks and ESPN, what that does for Disney is what Zaslav wants DC to do for Warner's, right? With that influx of cash. Now he has not gone into explicit detail. He's been quite vague, and he's left this up for us to deduce. But he has said this: I got a 10-year plan. He wants 10 years, just like Marvel, between their phase 1 to phase 3, the Infinity Saga. He wants 10 years. Now, we don't know if that's going to be what we understand to be a traditional shared universe. We don't know if that's going to be, we're going back to standalones. We don't know what that means. Not yet. But we do know he wants 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
And guess what else we know?
What?
Guess what else we know? So remember how I said Zaslav was in the building since last year, but he didn't actually do anything? It's because the way the contracts work and the way, his executive power work, and when essentially it's kind of like when his start date was, his effective start date. You know the first thing he did on his effective start date?
What?
This is rumor now. This is rumor. I heard that on his effective start date, first thing he did was get Joker 2 going now. Going now.
What is this that I've been hearing about? The director, I think of the Lego movie, Dan Lin, having some involvement, that he's supposed to kind of be like the Kevin Feige, basically, or people are, that's the rumor out there.
That is the speculation right now. Hasn't been made official because Zaslav knows he can't do this by himself. He has all of Warner Brothers Discovery to take care of, not just DC, all of it. So he needs him, a Kevin Feige-like person, and he's been looking. There's a rumor that he made an offer to Kevin Feige himself.
You know what? I actually kind of wonder if Kevin Feige did leave, because you have a lot of people kind of talk about, I don't know if you've kind of heard, but I hear a lot of people say like, oh, the Marvel movies, they've kind of been going up and down lately or whatever. So like, I wonder if Kevin Feige going over to DC would even be refreshing for him. I'm not saying that the Marvel movies are going down or the Marvel shows are going down.
There's a thing nobody want to bring up. I think superhero fatigue is in effect.
Oh, we'll talk about that. But so check this out. So let me get back to the Dan Lin thing, right? Because he's the latest name in a couple that have been sort of rumored. Like I said, there's the rumor that Feige was approached at one point. This one I don't believe necessarily. I heard that James Gunn was approached at one point.
I don't think he want to be an executive like that.
Right. I also heard that what's my boy that freaking Chapek fucking booted out of Disney back in July. Peter Rice. Peter Rice I heard he was approached, but he turned it down because he was trying to set himself up for Chapek's position over at Disney, because this was before Chapek got renewed. Because he fired Peter Rice through, what was it? It was either 4 or 5 weeks before he got renewed. It was like the end of June, beginning of July. Chapek got renewed towards the end of July. So it was like within a month, right? But yeah, so apparently he turned down the DC gig. Now Alan Horn is over there. Alan Horn, the OG from Disney, who was working under Iger for all those years. He's over there as a consultant for Zaslav right now. And I think that's where your boy Lynn comes in, because I think Horn's the one that recommended him.
Okay.
So that's where he comes in. And so now the rumor is going that he's currently being considered. So
question is whether or not that's a good bet. Like I'm even looking right now, like on IMDb. I haven't actually seen what was it, that Aladdin movie. It looks like he was a producer on that too, but he was also the executive producer of, what was it, Godzilla versus King Kong. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Part 2 just entered production.
It's funny, I didn't even know there was going to be a part 2 until recently. Like I'm thinking like, oh, that was it. It felt like it was it to me. I thought that they were only doing like a like a trilogy, like a 3-part trilogy.
Well, so with that, they were supposed to branch off, and the reason for it was because of the Toho license.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it was Legendary was going to be losing the license. I think they were going to be I can't remember I think they were going to be losing the license for Godzilla, but they were going to be able to keep it for Kong. And so they would have been able to keep the Kong movies going, which is why Godzilla vs. Kong seemed more like a setup for the next Kong film.
Okay.
Because they still had the license for Kong. They were going to lose the one for Godzilla, but apparently they worked it out. Because two entered production yesterday. It was either late Monday or yesterday morning was when it was announced. Yeah.
That's one of those movies where I wish I could have went to the show to go see it when it first came out.
I went to the theater and saw that one.
Oh my gosh, that movie looked beautiful. Like absolutely beautiful. Even though I still don't think it really made a whole lot of sense how you just tunneled into the middle of the earth. And I'm like, really?
No, that don't make no sense at all. That's not how. And for the record, that's not how gravity works.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all trying to apply scientific logic to a fictional movie.
They tried to use science.
Yeah,
it's fictional science.
Okay. Like a flux. Like what is it called? A
flux capacitor.
The flux capacitor. But no, my favorite one, because the name is just particle accelerator. The particle accelerator.
Where's particle accelerator from?
Flash.
Oh, I don't watch Flash.
Oh, you're speaking of Flash.
Okay, so I tell you what, guys. So I want to get. So what are y'all thoughts? We're gonna start with my man E. What's your thoughts on the shakeups over at Warner Brothers Discovery, and what do you think this could mean for the new DC films?
Well, let me say this. My hopes is that because I actually, I'm probably one of the few people who I don't hate the DCEU, but it just seems like they don't keep anything consistent.
I hated it with a passion. I hated it with a passion, and I boycotted it ever since Man of Steel. And guess what, niggas? I won.
But you know what though?
The Snyderverse is finished.
I'm in the minority then, because I actually think that Man of Steel was the best Superman movie. Yes, I'm saying that on here. I'm saying that on here. I think it was the best one to exist. But
he's about to look like he's about to kick you off.
Don't do this to me, please. But like, no, on the real though, like
we don't do that here.
On the real, like, okay, I understand that it wasn't your traditional.
Say that again.
I understand it wasn't your traditional Superman movie. I get that, but I like the fact that they tried to go a little bit of a different, have a different vibe to it. It was a little bit of a darker vibe, so I know it probably feels more like Batman-esque probably to a lot of people out there, and that's not what Superman was, right? But I don't know. I kind of feel like, if you even look at the comics, they do different things with different
Superman
characters. You know what I mean? Different with Superman. So I mean, would a Christopher Reeve Superman really, let's be honest, like something like that really work today? You get what I mean?
Yes and no.
So
because the closest
You know what I think about that?
What?
Shoot this motherfucker.
But I mean, but for the most part, I'm gonna say these are the movies that I kind of liked from the DCEU. I liked Man of Steel. I liked the first Wonder Woman movie. I liked Aquaman. Aquaman was also pretty good. So I think for the most part, aside from maybe Man of Steel, can we at least agree that maybe they do, like, DC's pretty good at doing like solo movies usually?
No, their standalones are.
Yeah.
The three most successful ones are the ones that are the three that are the easiest to pull away from their shared universe. Wonder Woman could be a standalone you only had what, 3 DCEU movies before that came out? No, you only had 3.
Yeah, she was the fourth one.
Yes, and Suicide Squad, and that movie had nothing to do with those.
But you know what? Like I feel like Snyder had a plan. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
he did.
He
had a plan.
Yeah,
he did have a plan. It was a terrible plan.
Now, I didn't like Batman versus Superman. I'd agree with everyone all day on that one. But it's like a lot of the other ones, I feel like, I kind of liked where he was going for the most part. Even when how did you feel about the Snyder cut of Justice League?
You didn't see it.
You didn't.
I saw it. I liked it.
And guess
Here's
what?
the thing.
And guess what? You can't even call it a polished turd. It wasn't finished.
I enjoyed it. It would have been nice, maybe like a.
I'm sorry, Dijon. I cut you off, bro.
No, I'm not trying to interrupt anybody, but like I said, I like the Snyder cut, but I didn't like his plans for Superman because I was playing it with somebody on your Discord. Like, the problem was Snyder was trying to do deconstructed Superman, or it's like that's like Luke Skywalker. It's some characters you don't want to see deconstructed. They supposed to be heroic. They supposed to be written that way for a reason. They can have flaws, but their flaws is not who they are. They are heroic, and nobility is who they are.
But you know what? Let me challenge that a little bit, right? So
I'm not good in debates.
Oh no! Why, even like from like a writing standpoint, if we're gonna get the same character over and over again, let's say even if you're looking at like comics, right? You're gonna get the same character over and over again. What's the point of even telling a new story? Why not just read what you just read before, or why not watch, what you've seen before if you don't want something new?
See, this is the thing about.
So then why do we keep doing Dracula? Why do we keep doing Sherlock Holmes? Why do we keep doing King Arthur and Robin Hood and Aladdin, Sinbad? Why do we keep doing those characters? Can't just be just because they're in the public domain.
They resonate. No, here's the thing about I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Superman and like it resonates, but like Superman, like the dark Superman has come up. Like, Superman does question himself. Like he said, if I go out of hand, do I want this? Sometimes he's like you said, he like injustice can totally happen. Superman has moral ideas like that. He has moral questions like that before, but like there's a way to balance him in the comics. So, like I said, Superman can be interesting. He just got a lot of bad comic book writers.
Yeah, they don't know how to write them. And the thing is, and I've always made the argument, granted, it's not my argument. I credit this to Movie Bob. He's the one that put it in this terms. And I was like, damn, that's true. you can deconstruct the world around him.
Yeah.
But he has to remain he has to remain steady.
Like
He
AOW
has to be the compass.
AOW remember this. You know why Captain America Hydra was so controversial? It's the same thing.
Because they essentially changed the same character. Although notice how you could have, because Captain America is a beautiful example. Notice how you can have a movie such as First Avenger, right, which is our stereotypical superhero fare, even historical superhero fare. They got Joe Johnson to do it. God damn it, he done it before. The Rocketeer, remember? So same type of film. But if you look at Winter Soldier, I would argue Winter Soldier ain't nothing but deconstruction. Notice how Cap don't change though. He remains consistent in both, and that's why both those movies work so well. Not just solo, but even together.
Civil War showed his flaws because, like you said, when it comes to Bucky, he'll put Bucky above anything else.
But
that's the closest his flaws can get.
Though. But yeah, that's still Steve.
But you know what? Let me say something to add to that, right? If let's just say, for example, you were to take the character of Cap and you wanted to do something else with him again, right? Especially they got all this multiverse stuff going on, right? You're gonna have to make something either different, or you're gonna have to expand on something with Cap that you never expanded on before. You can't. I mean, you could try to tell the same story.
Yeah, but
that would be old. You know what I mean?
But you can explore a different avenue with the same character without having to change that character.
Here's the thing. You want to know something?
You just explore that different.
Irvin, I got real quick.
I'll give you this. Hang on. I'll give you a good example. Maybe it's not the best example because it's still doing that dark and gritty deconstruction is bullshit. But with this particular character, it actually makes sense. And it's one of the few lines that I actually do give credit to the Snyderverse for, because it actually is a really fucking thought-provoking line. In BVS, there's a scene when Bruce is talking to Alfred, and he says, "I am now older than my father ever was." Just that line alone makes, I'm like, yeah, what would a Bruce of that, what does he think of that? What does that mean to, he has now outlived his father. What does that do to him? You see what I'm saying? We don't, because all we know is my parents are dead. That's it. We don't actually
explore.
We don't explore how Bruce actually felt about his parents outside of that immediate tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you read or watched or heard anything about Bruce talk about his family's legacy?
Yeah, you know.
It don't come up like that.
No, and it's usually always somebody else, right? Either Alfred will bring it up, or Lucius or somebody would bring it up.
Damian probably bring it up here and there.
Well, but Damian got his own family legacy. And real quick, our first super chat of the evening coming from my man Jay Takashi. Thanks so much, player. And he says, hang on, let me blow this up real quick. Go back to classic. He says, yo, Larry, OAW, much love, brother. Wish I was on the panel to add to the convo. Plus, shout out to Irvin coming out with the freshness, brother. You got that swag up. Plus, Steve Rogers and Tony Stark are GOAT. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, and because that is, I do believe is that a $10 super chat? That's it. Yeah, that gets one of these.
My nigga.
Appreciate it, man. Much love, fam. Much love.
But
y'all all
Irvin,
but I gotta go.
All right.
Real quick, what were you gonna say? I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, I was I didn't if you're talking about exploring avenues with the characters, it's a controversial subject, but like they have other characters take over the identity. So that's another way to explore that. Like I said, it's controversial because you want certain, like Terry's totally different from Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Now Sam, as a black man, as Captain America, that's interesting because a black man in America with the identity of America. He got the flag, so like I'll prefer him to be Falcon, but the idea like a black man calling some Captain America, all the history of the blacks in the United States of America, and you want to represent this costume, so that's controversial in itself. So, how can you bring a positivity as a black man to the American ideal? Do you believe in the American ideal? As you go be the representative of the American ideal, because that's what Cap is. Cap is the American ideal, but you got a black man in a costume representing the American ideal, and you got the historical context. So, like the original characters themselves, like Anakin is the parallel to Luke. That's deconstruction right there. But you know, Anakin was supposed to be. We know what Anakin was going to lead to, but his arc parallels to his son. But at the end, we got the redemption arc. It didn't work correctly, but we got the redemption arc.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to see. I mean, you can make the argument Anakin is somewhat of a deconstruction of Luke. He's a perversion of what Luke is.
So, at least when you're talking about, like, for example, you're saying, like, you know, how Terry is different from Bruce. You know, we're talking about like the Batman as a title, right? You know, we're talking about each of these.
Talking about characters taking on the titles.
So I understand, you know, essentially when you're telling these stories, like, you know, it's not, you know, just about the character. You know, you're also talking about it's the title too. You know, the title represents something, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that is important, but I guess let's say that we kind of bring it back to the whole Superman thing, right? What I would kind of question is that, like, let's say with a movie like Man of Steel,
I mean, sorry, Urban, like the only one who can come like the Superman identity is maybe Kara, because she's different from Kal-El Clark. Like they do that with Kara, like because she grew up on Krypton, so she got more of a Kryptonian heritage than Clark, so they sort of do that with her, but they don't. It's not like deconstruction.
But no, but what I like about what Snyder does is I feel like, you know, he kind of separates in a sense, you know, Superman, and you know, like if you think about Superman, kind of has like three identities in a way.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? You have
that's
Superman,
Kal-El.
you have Kal-El, and then you have Clark Kent. And I mean, think about it, because you have, you know,
Clark Kent. For the record, I'm just gonna sit up here and listen to this like I didn't say that shit over 10 years ago when I did my Smallville review. But okay, I'm just gonna listen to it though. You tell me about the three. I'm the one who came up with that. But go ahead.
It's technically four. It's Mild Matter, Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. It's Superman. It's Kal-El, Krypton, and it's Clark Kent from Smallville, who was raised by the Kents.
Well,
because him as Clark Kent at the Daily Planet is completely different. It depends how they write him, but he's completely different. How he act around his parents and people who knew him while he grew up.
You know what I like about what Snyder did basically when it came to, you know, handling Superman is that, I mean, if you think about it, people, I mean, and this is something, I mean, yeah, you do see this, you know, even with like Injustice and, you know, other things, you know, other properties too, but like you have them kind of trying to deify Superman. I like when you have them kind of exploring this is what they want him to be, you know, but does that character actually want to be that way? And this is Snyder's interpretation on.
You know what else they did that? They did that in the good comics. They did that. God, people viewing Superman as a God figure in the comics, and he challenged himself like that. Because I remember one time in a comic, he said a lady was just praying to him, and he got superhearing, and he said, "I want to make it. I want to prove it to her, but I can't make it because she got shot." I remember that comment because she was like, she grew Superman as the second coming. Because like I said, he's a Christ figure. He's written like a Christ figure a lot of times. So in the comics, they did that question. Like, if you got this all powerful force of good, but he still got fallacies, because like that's Superman. Superman does have fallacies. Like he does question himself, like, am I fast enough to make it? And I won't be able to save everybody. He does complicate that. And like he does like question himself, like people viewing him as a god. He's the first one to say, like, I'm not a god. I may come as powerful as a god, but I'm not a god. He's the first one to say it, because the God question has been brought up. And besides Snyder put it in the films, like it been brought up in comics, animated
No,
animation, and
of course, you know.
Smallville.
So I guess, you know, and this is something I'm even going to ask everybody this, you know, anybody who feels this way in the comments too, you know, like if we've seen this in the comics and Snyder pretty much just kind of brought this to screen, right? Basically showing like, okay, this, you know, this kind of plot thread or the storyline of, you know, Superman essentially, you know, people wrestling with the whole concept of what Superman is, right? And, you know, looking at him kind of a deity, even though he's, you know, he's not that, him just kind of being a man essentially, right?
Yeah.
What, if you look at like the Christopher Reeve movies, right, that everybody, you know, looks at very fondly, which I'm not hating on those movies, you know, but what did those movies really say? Or what did they really, what kind of, what did you really get out of it other than, you know, the same old Superman that you would get in probably a lot of the more older, like I'm talking about really old, like Superman comics. Like this, I feel like this, like the Snyder movies at least tried to touch on something a little bit deeper, you know.
Well, I could bring up Superman too when he willingly gave up his Kryptonian abilities to be with Lois.
Mm-hmm. But
okay.
Yeah, but in any case, I do have to head out of here, guys. But
I know Irvin got to go. So yeah, just final thoughts on these, and of course, plug your channel, let people know where they can find you.
Looking forward to hopefully DC. You know, they bring out some really cool content. I'm really upset about the fact that Ezra Miller's been acting crazy because he's messing with everybody's jobs,
and they still haven't fired him yet.
You know, yeah, you know, so like, and it's so unfortunate because Flash was probably the movie I was looking forward to the most. So it's unfortunate that he ended up being all over the place. Just because I wanted to see Flashpoint brought to the screen. But last few things, I want to say, if you guys are into manga, if you like in terms of like creating manga, you want to know about the process, you want to see the Killbox project, the battle rap project that we're working on, make sure you check out Shining Otaku. We also have Shining Spotlight, which we interview guests in the industry, comics, manga, voice actors, you name it. You want to make sure you check that out, all on the Shining Otaku page. Thank you so much today for having me on, Larry. I appreciate it. You know, both of you guys, you know, thank you for, you know, having me on. And
yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Oh, this weekend, Cobra Kai, seasons 1 through 4, full-blown stream review.
I'll make sure I check that out. But I'll see you guys.
All right, later.
You got a super chat, AOW.
Yes, we do. This is another one coming from a man, Jake Takeshi. Thanks so much, my man. He says, Larry, Captain America, and Superman stand for something more than themselves. They are a servant to the people, but they both fight for what they love. Yes, they do. And that's why they are amazing.
Yeah, we got caught up in that debate about deconstruction. We lost.
Right. So Dejan, my man, riddle me this then. Because you've been there. You've been there the whole time. You've been watching this, right? You've been watching Snyderverse, right?
Yeah.
We done seen, you know, kind of like the we done seen it like unfold from when Snyder had full carte blanche, keys to the kingdom, could do whatever he wanted. Saw that didn't work out. We saw them start to do the auto correction, right? I say auto correction, overcorrection, right? Now they have to clean everything up, right? Then on the tail end of everything, we get the Walter Hamada projects, right? And those, I mean, he's split right down the middle because, yeah, he greenlit Aquaman and freaking Joker. Great. You know what else he greenlit?
Birds of Prey.
Wonder Woman 1984. And what was the other one under his? Shazam was him. Shazam
that made money.
And so was I believe the Suicide Squad was the James Gunn one, but I think that's the one he didn't want, and he also didn't want Joker. So very divisive, you know what I'm saying? Because he's kind of like 50-50, like bad projects and good projects, right?
That happens.
But so now we got the Hamada films that are slowly phasing out, right? Because the ones that are in production now are the last of the Hamada ones, right? Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Flash, and Aquaman 2. Like that. Aquaman 2 will be the last one, right? So now, open playing field, right? So what do you think comes next?
Here's the thing, they're not really getting rid of they're getting moving away from the Snyder aesthetic, but like it's not a full blown reboot because you heard like they bring Ben Affleck back as Batman.
Right. Yep. He
So
just
they still want to keep the cast, so they want to even keep Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't signed on yet, but yeah, from what I've heard, he has been approached.
So it's not a full blown reboot, but like maybe they want to go. I don't know what type of direction they want to go in, but like they're not going maybe acknowledge the Snyder stuff. It's gonna be probably like the X-Men, because that's a very loose continuity.
Okay.
So like it probably be like the same cast, but like it won't have this overt Snyder aesthetic. Because the Snyderverse fans just want the Snyder aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean, man. Look, my thing is, I'm hoping that this is finally. I kind of wish, dude. Honestly, I kind of wish they would do what the initial rumors was like that the Flash, since we know it's Flashpoint, that it was going to like reboot the movies just like it did in the comics. I honestly, I mean, because remember, dude, that Flash movie got announced 6 years ago. You remember
a lot of movies got announced 6 years ago. Green Lantern movie, Cyborg,
Black Adam.
Yeah.
Remember,
and only a few came out.
So the thing is, it's like, we've been waiting on this for so freaking long, and and it's changed up so much, dude. Honestly, I just want good DC movies. I just
Everybody
want
wants that.
Again, I keep going back to this. Because when people hear me talk about comics, particularly big two comics is what I mean. When people hear me talk about big two superhero comics, though, because of the way I talk, they would swear up and down I'm a Marvel, fanboy. No, I'm DC. That my main love is for. I mean, I love Marvel, but my first love was and always will be DC.
Ironically, Batman's my favorite superhero, but I'm more of a Marvel fan.
That makes sense. And but the thing is, it's like I have not been able to enjoy DC for so long. DC has never had the big three consistent. And when I say the big three, I'm talking about, it would be let's say the four. I would call it the four, right?
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern.
Film, television, animation, and the comics and the source material. They have never had all four, or at least the majority of the four, good at any one time. And that's been true for at least the last 20 years.
I can see where you're going.
Either the movies are good and the comics are bad, or the animation's good. Because dude, for the longest time, like, okay, check this out. When I started OAW circa 2010, at that time, the movies were bad because they couldn't sell anything other than Batman. And this was 2 years. It was 2 years after Dark Knight, and it was 2 years before Dark Knight Rises. But it was a year before Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So the thing was, it was like the movies were bad. But there was no the only TV show was Smallville, to my recollection, 2010. I don't know what other.
Yeah, because you remind me of 2010. They released Jonah X.
See what I mean? So yeah, it's like the movies were bad. Television, Smallville was the only, and Smallville wasn't that great its final season by then, right? But those animated films, the direct to video line, those were fucking great.
Before the 52 aesthetic.
No, dude, I'm talking about the original animated ones. I'm talking about, because 2010 was that Green Lantern First Flight? I think in 2010.
I haven't seen all the DC animated movies.
I'm
I
talking
only
about the
seen a
OG
couple.
ones. I'm talking about all the.
I
I'm talking
seen a
about the
couple
one,
of OG ones, but I haven't seen all of them.
all the ones before Flashpoint. That's the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Green Lantern one. I seen the Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
What about I mean, it's one of my favorites. Apocalypse is one of my favorites. I don't consider it one of the best. Nah,
I didn't see the
like,
one with Lex Luthor. I didn't see that one.
dude, did you see New
I read
Frontier?
the comic. Yeah. New Frontier. I read the comics too, with
Dude,
Lucy Liu and
see New Frontier though, like that was like the caliber of film we were getting back then. And between that and Under the Red Hood and what was another really, really freaking good one? Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. But yeah, like, so you see what I'm saying? So it's like at that time, it's like the animation was good, but then and I think the comics were so-so because that was right before New 52. So the comics were so-so. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, it just, and then right after that happened, okay, let's fast forward 2 years. Now it's 2013, right? The live action films hadn't improved. In fact, 2013, that's Man of Steel, right? So now we're at the beginning of what's going to be the Snyderverse. So all those movies are going to be shit, which is why I stopped watching them. Okay, now the television shit kind of improved because that's when we get Arrow. So it's the start of the Arrowverse when it was still good. Okay, fine. All right, cool. But then now we're adapting the New 52 in animation, which was whack. And now we have the New 52 going on in the comics, which was fucking whack. So you see what I mean? Like they're never consistent.
same thing with Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel more, but not as egregious. Not as egregious. Dude, this is how bad the shit was in DC. When arguably the best story your company has produced in the last decade was a video game? Might want to look into that, bro.
I mean, comics wise, quarter hour, 0 hour, but those are Batman comics. He tend to do a lot more better. Like, if the comics are bad, Batman tends to at least do a lot more good. But if you're talking about like the whole DC Comics line, it don't really tend to be that well.
$52 is too many fucking bucks, dude, to begin with.
Yeah, because when I read New 52 Superman, this was the first time it's like y'all made me dislike Superman. How could y'all do that? Y'all made me dislike Superman when I read New 52 Superman.
All right, man. So we just crossed the hour mark. You ready to get into some of these questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Surprisingly, we actually don't have those many. So I'm gonna go ahead and call, last call for questions now. Because surprisingly, we don't have those many. All right, my man.
You only got
Eric
like $15.
Say who?
You only got like $15
for the super chat. Yeah. Okay, so Eric Gardner, hey Larry, what are some of your go-to activities when you've had a really bad week and need to get your head right? Ooh, bang out in the gym. I'm gonna do that at least if it's been the whole week. If my whole week's been shitty like that, I'm hitting up the gym at least once, if not twice. Go bang out in the gym. I would also. Man, if my week was really that bad, one night that week, probably at the end of it, I'm gonna go out on my porch, man. I'm gonna have me a drink, couple of drinks, few drinks actually. I'm put my headphones in, put on my music, and I'm just gonna jam, dog. And I don't need a party. I don't need a bunch of people. There are many a times I can. I do it. I do it quite regularly. Even bad week or good, man. Just go out on my porch, have my drink. You know what I'm saying? And just vibe. Just vibe off some tunes, man. And it depends on what the mood is. Sometimes I want to listen to some 90s alternative rock. Sometimes I want to listen to some old school. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want to listen to some metal. It just depends. Dude, hey. If my week really been bad, I'm just gonna throw on that J-pop, bro. Throw on my anime Pandora channel and just flow, bro. So yeah. And then and I talk with my friends, and my family. Go see my nieces or something like that. Spend time with the folks. Hope you're not having a bad week, my man. I hope you're not having a bad week. Travis Tippin said, "Did you hear Bastard Anime OP? OP, you mean the?
I guess in the new opening for New Bastard.
I'm like, did you hear it? So I'm assuming he's talking about the music. Yes, I love the music. Love the music for the New Bastard anime, which I still need to get around to reviewing. Travis Tippin says, why has Ezra Miller why has he not been fired? Because his
too much money, $200 million.
Because of his pronouns and who his agent is. His agent has a lot of
even those people who could support that, even they don't want to be behind that. Even they gotta have some limits.
Yeah, but his agent has a lot of pull.
Yeah.
So Obey Anime says we need a Batman Beyond movie. I tell you this, I'm at the point now where I'm kind of over the adaptation part of it, and I would just rather, if I could, I would just rather an animated sequel.
Do you read the Batman Beyond comics?
I was keeping up with that first run, but I haven't since. So it's been.
I'm not talking about the animated ones. I'm talking about like the original Batman Beyond stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The comics.
Yeah.
But there are 2 comic runs. Remember, they did that limited run back in the mid 2000s, and then they brought the title back like full time, right?
Yeah.
So I read that original limited run, and then I read the first few when they brought it back with because they brought it back with Rebirth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I read like the first few of those. And then that was it. But remember, Rebirth, that's 2016. So, and I think
6 years ago.
I read that in 17. So it's been a while. Because Rebirth had already been going on for a year by the time I got around to it. Sam Collins says, I'm still skeptical about the so-called new DC films. I would honestly prefer a complete reboot. I'm sick of all this Snyderverse drama, and I'm really ready for that era of DC to be over. Well, it is over.
Hey, though, you got some spam in your comments.
If my mod's in the building, just go ahead and block it. Just go ahead and block. Oh, actually, I did it. Bye, heifer. Let's see. Y'all think they're going to cancel Young Justice again? Technically, they always do. Young Justice isn't in like syndication. Every season of Young Justice is a new like contract. So technically,
Young they go re-up
every season. If you think about it.
No, because I know like and they got Supergirl in there, so that's the cliffhanger from the Young Justice series.
That's the who?
Cliffhanger, Supergirl.
So? Oh, you're saying because there's a cliffhanger, they won't cancel it?
No, they'll cancel it. I'm just curious.
Because like I said, like technically it's canceled after every season. Because it's only renewed one season at a time.
Yeah.
Obey Anime, can we finally get a solo Dick Grayson series? I don't think anyone would watch it, to be perfectly honest with you. Sam Collins said Lynn is going to be the producer for the canceled Justice League Mortal film by George Miller back in 2007, 2008. Yeah, dude, that would have been a crazy ass fucking movie. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, I heard about the cast. Armie Hammer's Batman, and who else?
That was the one with like they had Common playing John Stewart. Adrian Brody was, or Adam. I'm sorry, Adam Brody was going to be the Flash. They had a pretty good cast, but dude, like, did you hear about the script though?
I forgot.
The script was nuts. It would have been. I'd tell you that it would have been the first time we saw Maxwell Lord, because he was like, I guess you could call him the main villain of that movie.
Okay.
But dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was nuts. The shit they had in there, and it was a weird, loose adaptation of Tower of Babel.
Oh, so
That's where the title comes from.
Maxwell Lord would have been like the Ra's al Ghul role.
I think was he the one, or was he the one that stole it? That like stole the plans, but it was pretty much it was essentially Tower of Babel. But dude, and then I remember there was a crazy thing because there was supposed to be like an alien, like a giant alien monster at the end, because it goes conventional, stereotypical mid 2000s superhero film in the third act, right? There's a Galactus, you know what I'm saying? Dude, it was. It would have been nuts. Sam Collins, explain to me how Snyder killed off Superman in the second movie, and I didn't care at all. But James Gunn killed off Yondu and Guardians 2, and I was able to make. And
I can answer that.
Emotional.
James Gunn made you care. Snyder didn't. There you go.
There you go. That was easy. And then Studio P said, who the F gave Larry a soundboard? It's video clips. See, I just told Irvin earlier, I said, I'm pretty sure most of my audience listens to the streams. They don't actually watch it. It's video clips. It's not a soundboard.
That's how I listen to you. I don't really actually, because you just sit in front of the camera.
Thank you. This is nothing more than a video podcast.
Yeah.
But then you can't see me make the funny faces. Like,
I mean, I can rewind. I mean, I can bear up like the tone, or somebody's like say something like, you probably made a funny face.
Yes, I made a few.
Yeah.
I've become relatively good at it. That's what happens when you have nieces and nephews. You learn how to make funny faces.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm
real quick, AOW. I don't know how long we're gonna spend on this, but it could be your real quick idea.
What's up?
Since the box office performance of the Marvel movies, you think superhero fatigue is finally in effect? Just your quick thoughts.
I'm gonna say not yet.
Even after 20 years.
I'm gonna say not yet. And I'll tell you why. Because even though the Marvel films have been underperforming as of late, those films compared to all the other films in theaters are still they're still outgrossing the majority of the competition.
Yeah, even Top Gun was like phenomenal.
Yeah, Top Gun was an anomaly.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But like the last 2 years of Marvel in the box office hasn't really been that great. It's been average or just below, right?
Yeah.
Now, none of them have bombed necessarily. Not necessarily. From a financial standpoint, none of them have bombed, but some of them have barely managed to turn a profit, is what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But they still perform better than the vast majority of their competition, which means that people are still going to the theaters to see those movies as opposed to everything else, because they're not going to see everything else.
Doctor Strange made like 900 million.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
And if nothing else, No Way Home was the biggest indicator that there is no superhero fatigue.
No, because when I saw it on Phases, on the Marvel Phases, I was like, I don't give a fuck no more. I'm gonna see it, but I don't care. That was at the point, because like when I saw all the movies and TV shows, like I got to that point, like I don't care anymore. So that's me Like I'm a superhero fan, but even though I get fatigued.
Oh no, I see. I have it, but you asked me if it was actually happening, like in grand scheme, right?
Yeah.
Grand scheme, no, not yet. It hasn't happened yet.
All right.
Let's see. Jessica James says, Larry, what some actors would you cast for DC characters? I like DiCaprio for Joker, Patrick Stewart for Alfred, and Vin Diesel for Mr. Freeze, to name a few.
No, Van Diesel. You need Mr. Freeze to be sympathetic. You need somebody to make him sympathetic. I don't think Van Diesel that good of an actor to play Mr. Freeze.
So unfortunately, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I actually think I've talked about this before in previous videos. The first one that come to mind, because I mentioned it, I think the last time someone brought this up, I forget his name, but the actor that plays Robbie on Cobra Kai, spinning image of fucking Terry McGinnis. If you were going to do a live action Batman Beyond, that's your Terry McGinnis. He'd be perfect for it. And shout out to my boy, gonna be the next Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, that's another one coming out. Zaslav didn't cancel that one. That's still coming out.
Gotta get that Mexican money.
Maniac Madness 11. What's happening? He says, you think Serena Williams going out on top?
She retiring this year.
Yeah, isn't this her last competition? The one she's in now?
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah,
how old is Serena? She in her 40s?
I think so.
Early 40s.
Like, I think she's like 40. I think she just turned 40.
Yeah.
Because she's a few years younger than Tom Brady, and he's 45.
Yeah. I mean, 20 years is a good career, but like Rocky said, Father Time is undefeated. It never lost.
I mean, it's been longer than 20 years. She's been doing this since she was a teenager.
I mean, yeah, but 30, 20. I don't know where she started technically. Professionally.
As a teenager. I think when she was 16.
So
professionally.
20 something years, over 25, she in her 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it been a good career.
Yeah.
She was like, she's one, her sister and her, I don't know, well, I know maybe one or two tennis players, but like just those are the two you gonna name associated with tennis.
Yep.
So it's been a good career.
Yep. And then finally, my man Jessica James says, also Larry favorite Robin minus Tim Drake. Hate what they have been doing to him in the comics lately. Yeah, Tim's mine in terms of Robin. Tim's mine.
Tim and Damian.
But yeah, I mean, again, remember what I said. Like, none DC can't stay consistent enough for all of their different mediums to be good, or even the majority of them to be good at any one given, like, any time at the same time. Yeah. And the comics are trash. They've been trash. I would say halfway through Rebirth is where they just completely fucking fell off.
Now, speaking of the Tim Drake, I heard they go officially try to make Bruce bisexual.
Yeah, I heard some shit like that.
It wouldn't make no sense, but you don't know what the writers today.
Yeah, and dude, and for the record, it's like, I mean, no one's really reading these fucking books, dude. Dude, you remember the one that talked about Superman being, abused or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, that book was out for months before that article was ever published.
I heard about that.
And no one knew. Dude, most people didn't even know that fucking Batgirl movie was being made.
Yeah.
Most people didn't. Until they found out.
A lot of people were freaking out, or a certain segment was freaking out.
No, actually, no. The media told you that demographic was freaking out.
Oh, I read some Twitters. I was curious.
But you do, dude. Twitter's not real life, though, right?
I know, but crazy people on Twitter, you got to see what their thoughts are.
Like, Twitter might as well. Dude, treat Twitter the same way you treat professional wrestling. Everyone's just cutting promos.
Okay.
It's not real life. And like less than 7% of the population uses Twitter.
Yeah, they use more like the other social media platforms.
So, all right, guys, but it is time for us to get out of here. I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching live. Thanks everyone for watching after the fact. As always, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media: Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, I am on Twitter, but I don't shit post on Twitter. All I do is just post links to my videos. But yes, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, link. All of those are in the description box below. If you have yet to do so, consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/OAW. I don't want to announce stuff too early, but
you said next Friday with the Cobra Kai or this Friday?
This weekend.
Okay.
This weekend. So either this or I might even do it on Labor Day. I'm not sure. What I was getting to with the Patreon thing is because we got a couple of new patrons now, which for those who have signed up already for this month, welcome. Of course, the way Patreon works and whatnot, all of your patron benefits, pledge rewards will be honored next month, starting tomorrow. So I think we'll have at least one new member to the Discord that'll get in on the 5th. But if you want to get in on if you want to join the OAW Discord server, that's available for all patrons at the $5 tier or higher. So and then of course each tier they have their own benefits. I have multiple tiers for video requests and things of that nature. Going to be some changes coming to the Patreon, some updates, some new stuff I'm currently working on right now. So just keep an eye out for that. Once again, that is patreon.com/OAW. And with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief.
And Dejan Powers signing out.
And we are out of here. Until next time. Peace.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?